Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Went to the osteopath today. Obviously with the little niggle I had on my knee from last Monday with jiu-jitsu. Good news. He said it's just agitated the meniscus, so it's nothing to worry about.
Oh, that is great news.
Yeah, it is. I went and did the fitness class yesterday. And it actually felt really strong afterwards. I was like, oh, interesting. I'd already booked the appointment, but I thought, oh, I'll go anyway. So that was good. And then also I think it must have been in the same move that these two injuries happened. I think it was like an arm bar, something he got me in. But obviously at the time you don't feel it because you're so pumped up and you know. So I didn't tap out soon enough, I don't think. So it was my left forearm. Yeah. And my left knee.
Got it.
Yeah. My left knee and left forearm. So anyway, yeah, that was good news.
That's great news. I'm doing really well, man. We're going on a family vacation, as you know. It's kind of the idea. Well, we eat our own cooking, right? Is what we always tell the guys. And so taking my wife and our two little kids, 4 and 1.5. Man, I'm telling you, the 1.5-year-old's going on 30. It's crazy. Anyway, taking them to the Oregon coast. So here in the States, it's on the West Coast of the United States. So we got a house on the beach for 4 days. I'm going to enjoy that. Try to just keep my kids from not dying is what that's going to be. Is the reality of it. Now I'm excited about it. And then I get back and go on another trip. So, and then another trip where we do our alpha reset. So anyway, I just got back from the gym, went to the gym early this morning to knock that out. Because there's a lot going on before you, as everybody knows, there's a lot going on before you go on a trip.
Yeah, there is. We've actually got 3 kids here with us right now.
Awesome.
A 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Yep.
2 boys, and the 1-year-old's a girl.
Cool. Well, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's noisy.
Yeah. It's crazy in my house, man. I'll tell you.
And fun. I just seem to be turning everything into a game with the boys, you know. So that's been great fun. It's been playing random games with them. Like we've got another stools in the kitchen that you turn.
Yep.
You spin them basically that go up and down. Obviously, you've seen them. You've sat on them. One of them started spinning one of them this morning. The other one's stood there bored. I'm like, right, game. Who can spin it down the fastest? And they're like, right, I'm on. Like, right, let's get it to an equal thing. Right, 3, 2, 1, go. You see them both just going for it. And finding fun little ways to turn everyday things into games. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, it gives you a little glimpse into fatherhood, and I can tell you that part's the fun part.
Yep.
My daughter's 1.5, and she's like climbing up on tables and jumping off of them. Like she has zero fear, and that's a problem. That's a big, big problem. So it literally, my wife, it was like, how is it only 7:00? And I came home from the gym and she was just exhausted. 7 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just keeping the kid. My daughter jumps on the climbs up to the top of the couch and jumps off, and she's 1.5. So it's nuts. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Talk about kind of the idea with you and getting injured in jiu-jitsu. Are you just too old? Are you just too old for this?
Amelia said that exact thing to me.
Well, this is the perfect segment then.
Yeah, she said it. She's like, Tim, don't you think you may be too old to be taking up a new activity like that? And I was like, what? No, don't be crazy. Talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, we think about it. A lot of the guys out there, I mean, that's a question. You know, I'm just too old. Like I've been married for a long time. I'm working. I'm too old to make a change. Or life just kicked you down, man. I get it, guys. I get it. Life kicks you in the teeth sometimes and you're just over it. It knocks you down. You know what to do. And maybe you're just too old for this. Maybe you're just too old to make a change in your marriage. Maybe you're just too old to actually start something new, start a new relationship. Or maybe you're just too old to do the personal development on yourself, right? That's good for the guys in their 20s because they got a long road ahead of them. But I'm in my 40s or 50s or 30s or whatever your story is. Maybe it's just too late. You know, that ship has sailed. Maybe it's with your wife, right? Maybe you're too old to knock it out in the bedroom, or maybe you're too old to attract or seduce her. There's all kinds of stories that we have. And it reminds me, Tim, I was at a retreat. Now, this retreat was supposed to be for like elite business owners in the industry I was in at the time. I was in my early 20s, 25 or so, and everybody was much older than I was. And there's only about 12 of us that were there. And I was just, honored to be invited, honored to be selected as part of these people. And I'm at the retreat. And one of the things that you wrote down on a board. So if you can picture some plywood, but the kind of boards you see them break in, martial arts deals, right? So you wrote down what is holding you back. We went through a series of exercises and it was great. And we're in the mountains, beautiful place. So you write down what is holding you back, right? What's holding you back from achieving all of your dreams, right? What's that thing that break you have? And so people are going around, there's all kinds of things, connections, money, fear, typical things that you would imagine. And the woman to my right flips her board around. And it says, too old. Time had passed her by. She was at the top of her industry, and then she had kids. And then she left the kids and, and she was like the woman traveling all over the world, right? She was the person. Then she took time off to have kids, and time had just passed her by. And her and I became good friends at this retreat. So I'm standing right next to her. I flip my board over, and you know what it says?
Yeah, I'm too young.
Too young, right? Literally, the whole room gasped. And you could feel an energetic shift because it was at that moment that her and I, at the same time, and everybody else saw us do it, realized that our stories were just bullshit. Pure bullshit.
So what do you think was really going on?
Excuses, stories that we create in our own head. Now, we have guys that go through the programs, right? Or approach us, and they've had a story of, I'm just too old to do this stuff. I'm too old to start jujitsu. I'm too old to seduce my wife, or I'm too old to get back in the gym, or I'm too old to switch careers. I hate my job. I hate my business. I like it pays me, but I hate it. And the thing I really want to do, just too old for that. And the reason it happens, I think, is like I said, life knocks you down, man. There's nobody listening to this that hasn't been kicked in the teeth by life. Nobody. Some of you guys have been curbed. Life has driven you to, dragged you to the curb, made you suck on it, kicked you in the back of the head. Like, not to be that vain and grotesque, but all of us have been knocked down in big ways, And we start using these stories or excuses. For me, it was too young. It was my 20s. And I realized how much BS that was, and it catapulted me. But for this woman, when she realized her story was BS, she also reclaimed her throne as one of the baddest ass women in a different way in her industry again, quickly. It was this paradigm shift that happened. And the reason that she did it, the reason that we need to do it as men, is because when life knocks you down and kicks you in the teeth and you start saying, I'm too old to do this, this is when we need you to get back up. This is when you dust yourself off. This is when you have a new start. This is when you take the story and you kick it to the curb because you don't need it. All of us get knocked down. All of us go through it. I don't care if you have gray hair. I don't care what it is, your story. And maybe it's not too old for you. Maybe that's not your story. Maybe your story is something different. I don't have as much money. I've taken too long. I'm not as good in the bedroom, right? I take too long at work, or I missed my kids, the chance of seeing my kids grow up. Or I'm just too fat and out of shape at this time. If I go to the gym, I'm going to hurt myself, or I'm going to look stupid. All of these are excuses, guys. And they could be valid, right? They're valid in their outward appearance. Look, I was too young at that time to be where I was, but I was selected to be at that retreat. I was one of 12 in the world in that industry to be selected to be there. There were a lot of people who wanted to be there. My story is I was too young, but I wasn't too young to be there. I had done the work. I had climbed the ladder, and I did it quickly at a young age because I put it in. And life is going to kick us down. It's going to kick us in the teeth. And the key is getting back up. And you guys know this. I know you know this. Now I need you to do it. I need you to get back up. You're not too old to learn. You're not too old to change things around in your marriage or with your kids. You're not too old to take something new like jujitsu. Now, look, I get it. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries. I'm the classic guy in his 40s that touching my knees, let alone touching my toes, is a goal, right? But I do it, and I show up and I work on it. And it's not pretty all the time, man. It's not pretty all the time. But this, Tim, was what I had to do in my marriage, right? Not only did I do this in business, being that young guy, and I've done it multiple times in business because I've been knocked down. I've had people steal from me. All kinds of things have happened in business, right? We all went through the financial crisis, the pandemic, but I've done it in my marriage too. I've had the excuse in my marriage. It's too late to turn things around. Might as well settle. Maybe I'll just get a side piece, right? And I'll have my kids will be happy. Then I'll be happy sexually somewhere else. And that's the easiest way, right? Or maybe just suck it up, do the chores around the house, be the good husband, right? On the outside, and just be miserable on the inside. And that was just a story. That was just a story. When I decided to suck it up, I don't want to say man up, but to suck it up and say, all right, this is time for me to do it. And maybe it's not pretty. Probably gonna need some help. All right. Probably gonna have to raise my hand and get a little assistance, doing that. And luckily, I have the guys in the brotherhood, the guys in the inner circle, and the coaches, you, Tim, as the other coaches as well, that I can turn to and say, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about maybe exiting my marriage or whatever it may be. And then I have you guys to go, okay, well, what's really going on here? Have you tried this? Have you done that? And that's when you got to realize, shoot, I'm getting kicked in the teeth here in this relationship. Now I got to do something different. And it's up to me to step up. It's up to me. Tim, I mean, you can't do the reps for me when I go to the gym this morning. You can't do it. You can tell me what to do. You can't come and say, Doug, you need to fix your marriage or your kids are going to be divorced. Some other man's going to raise your kids. Or maybe, some guys are divorced already and they don't want to repeat that pattern. How do you become an amazing man and work in a marriage or work with your ex-wife? The excuse, I'm too old to make these changes, I'm too old to do this, are excuses I've had. The difference is we all have these stories. The difference can be when you get up or not. Mm-hmm. Do you shake it off and do the work? I know when I had the story from my wife and I that it's too late. That was mine with my marriage. It's too late. It's just too late. So, okay. Again, I got to make a decision here. Am I going to stay in this marriage for optics, right? Just so it looks good. Not a bad guy. So I know I can meet another woman in that sense. Okay. Maybe I just have a woman on the side and I go home to the family. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the solution. Or maybe I leave. Or maybe I just suck it up, bite my lip, and take the punches and just suck it up, right? I'm a man. It's going to be shitty. The kids are going to, when they turn 18, I can leave or whatever my story was. And then there was another option that was there, Tim. And this option sucked the most. What if I just turn things around? What if I put in double the effort on me to turn things around? And the secret with that was working on me. Wasn't doing more stuff. Wasn't doing more stuff around the house. It wasn't doing more dishes, fixing the door. It wasn't excessive date nights that had to be extravagant. It wasn't any of that. It was doing my alpha rise and shine, doing my decompression at the end of the day. It was focusing on me and really looking at the 5 territories and taking out the excuse of things being too late or me being too old to make those changes or being too far in this marriage to shift things around. And when I did, an amazing thing happened. My wife changed. Funny thing, right? And she didn't really change. That's the difference. It was just me.
The worst place to be is on the fence, right? Because if this resonates, you're on the fence. Because if it resonates, that means there's an area within the five territories for you where you are feeling the pull. There's an instinct rising up inside of you for you to take some kind of action that you're not taking because of whatever story it is. So you know that you don't want to have what you've had in the past, or maybe even what you've got right now. You know that. Otherwise, the instinct wouldn't be there. Yet at the same time, you're not allowing yourself to really go for what you really want, right? So you're on the fence. It's the worst place to be. Either way, it's going to be hard, right? As you've said before, Doug, you choose your hard. So if this is resonating, guys, just my encouragement would be to get off the fence. And you're going to choose your hard. You're either going to have to choose your hard, that you're going to have to realize that you lived a life where you settled. You settled for less than you knew you were capable of. Definition of hell, we've spoke about this before, meeting the man that you could have been, right? Essentially, if you're settling, you're just in purgatory waiting to die, essentially going through the motions, which it's kind of like no man's land and the five agonies. Or you choose the hard of getting off the fence and jump into the other side of the fence. The side where you don't know what's going to happen. All that you know is you've got this instinct inside of you that's rising up for you to take some action, and you're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to know how it's going to turn out. You're probably not even going to know step 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The guys in the inner circle and the brotherhood who get the biggest shifts over the time we work together are the guys that just take that imperfect action one step at a time. Not busyness where they just scrambling anything to do to distract them from the real meaningful work that gets to be done. But those guys actually, breathe, they pay attention to that instinct that's rising up and they sit with it. Okay. What is the story? Just too old. Interesting. Luckily for them, they have an amazing group of men around them that they often say, hey, guys, honestly, I'm feeling the pull to do this thing, but here's a story. What do you think about that? And the guys will tell them how, ridiculous it is, or sometimes it just needs to be unpacked as well, right? There's validity in the story. Sometimes it's there to teach a lesson that can guide them. But anyway, they sit with the instinct, they sit with it. They pay attention to the story, and then, okay, what's the next best step? What's the step you can take next that just feels good? Well, I'm going to go on that timetable and look at when those classes are on. Okay. Then what's the next best step you think you might do? Well, I think I might just go. Okay. You rock up. You go to the class. Okay, well, looks okay. I think I'm just going to step onto the mat and start warming up. Just take action one step at a time towards what it is you feel compelled to have. Because what happens as well with this is you start optimizing your life for energy. You get a return on investment because the energy that you get back for following your path and the happiness that you feel by doing something you really want to do, you take that energy into your relationship with your wife. This is part of the Live as a King system. You take that energy into the relationship with your wife. You start to be more like the guy she fell in love with, right? You take that energy to your kids. It's easier to be the CFO because you're full. It's easy to be it from a place of fullness, hard to be it from a place of emptiness. You take that energy into your business as a leader. Those decisions you've been procrastinating on, suddenly they start to become easier. Suddenly you just start to take control of things again and things start moving, things start happening. All from you taking the next best step. So get off the fence would be my message to you guys. If this is resonating with you, that is. And choose your hard. The hard of the uncertainty of not knowing how it's going to play out, taking the imperfect action, or the hard of choosing to live with the fact that you're settling. And ultimately, you're going to arrive at the gates of hell meeting the man you could have been. Again, I don't mean to bring in anyone's religion into this or spiritual beliefs, but
I think
I
everybody
know
gets
for
that.
me, I don't want to arrive at the gates of hell with, just regret. You always see it in movies, don't you, right? Where there's somebody passing away. It's like, oh, what advice do you have in those moments? And there's always things like, I wish I would have had that conversation. I wish I would have chased that dream. I wish I would have, you know, go on and on and on. There's never, I wish I would have worked more. Or I wish I would have played safer. Or I wish I would have played small. That's not a life that's rich and full of adventure. So get off the fence, guys.
Yeah, guys, if you're still listening to this, it obviously resonates with you at this point. And I'm here to call you out. Look, I know life has kicked you down. I know you've been smacked. I know it's happened time and time again for some of you. And so this is your wake up call. This is us calling you out. We need you. This is a movement of men. The world needs powerful men more than ever to take charge, first and foremost, of your own life. Take charge of who you are. And a lot of that is the stories that we create. You're not too old. You're not too young. It's not too late. This is me calling you out and calling you forward. This is your chance to rise. Rise up and take back what's yours. You know it's out there. It's like when you find a wallet that you've lost. We've all lost a wallet before, right? And you're losing your wallet and you're going crazy and you just don't know where it is. And when you find it, that feeling that comes inside of you when you find that wallet, that feeling of relief and that feeling of joy that comes in there, that feeling of just power. Well, guys, you've lost something. It's not your wallet. It's who you are. You've lost it along the way, and you can reclaim that feeling of refinding yourself. This is me calling you forward. The Powerful Man is a movement of men. We talk about it a lot, and it's not just BS. There's over 40,000 men involved in one way or another by the last time I checked. This is me calling you forward. We need you. I need you. I got kids. I need you to step up. I need you to step up for me. I need you to step up for your brothers. I need you to step up for you. This is your wake-up call. This is me calling you forward. Guys, if this resonates with you, I want to know about it. Head on over to the Facebook group. It's a private group, and let me know there. Throw in a quick message. Hey, Doug, I heard you on the podcast with you and Tim. This resonated with me, and this is why. Step forward. Making that public declaration, although it's still a private group, but making that declaration makes it real, guys. It makes it real. You are strong enough to rise up, and this is me calling you forward.
I love that.
Guys, take action.
Answer the call. Pick up the phone. Answer the call. If you can't do it for us, do it for your kids. If you can't do it for them, do it for your grandkids.
Just break these generational patterns, boys.
Answer the call.
Guys, that's a wrap for us here at the Powerful Man Show. As always, take massive action. Tim and I are calling you forward because we care. Get into that Facebook group and make that post. Until next time, guys, make it an amazing week. We'll see you next time on the Powerful Man Show.